Hello! I'm wanting to make a video today just kind of giving some tips or suggestions of things that have worked for me that I've just kind of found out through my journey, whether through internet research or just talking to other people. It's definitely not going to be a video that suggests that if you have narcolepsy that you should drink more coffee to stay awake, or that you should try to go to bed earlier. Nothing like that. This is strictly a video for people who have narcolepsy and things that I have done personally to help with very unique situations that we live with on a daily life, or if you are getting some miracle medicines. Maybe it's not daily anymore, but you're experiencing that every once in a while like I am. Today I do have Batman back here, and then I've got Robin, and the cat you just saw was Selena Kyle. So they'll occasionally just kind of pop in and out. The first thing I wanted to go over is recently I went to a narcolepsy support group. I'm in Oklahoma, and there were 5 of us at that group. We ended up going to, what we do is once a month we go out to a local restaurant or just somewhere where we kind of all agree to go. And I really wanted to go to that restaurant because they've got really great booths where they're not quite soundproof, but you can really have a good conversation and feel like it's private, and you don't really hear anybody else's conversation around you. It's really just a big place, but they've got these big tall booths, and so we ended up having a great and comfortable conversation, not only because everybody else there was going through the same thing, but also, we didn't have to worry about our neighbors hearing the weird stuff that kind of comes up with narcolepsy. So if you don't have one in your area, I'd recommend that you try and start one, and try to meet other people in your area, because it was really nice meeting someone else who had that and just being able to talk and ask questions and really feel normal in a situation where you don't in anything else. So I want to go ahead and get into this. My first tip or suggestion is, of course, if you have narcolepsy, there's going to be times where you have a hard time falling asleep, especially when you really want to go to sleep. This is usually going to happen at night, because if you don't have narcolepsy or you don't know much about it, the thing about narcolepsy is that we don't have the set sleep pattern. So, we may go from 1 to stage REM and sleep, or, go 1 to 2, or just go right into REM, where, we may end up hallucinating while we're still awake, or just different things like that. But, we'll need naps throughout the day because we're tired. Our bodies never go into that really deep, restful state of sleep where it's also restorative and your body's healing itself overnight. So anyways, whenever, before I started the Xyrem, whenever I would try to go to sleep, it was like, as soon as I would lay down, that was when my brain was like, oh yeah, now you're laying down, we get to think about everything now, from what you did in first grade to what you need to be doing for the next 5 years, or whatever happened that day. It was like I had to think about it right then, and it just seemed that no matter what I did, I couldn't fall asleep. I would try to listen to music, I would count sheep, try to count in my head, do everything that is suggested. What I found has worked the best, and I discovered this because it also is what causes me to go into automatic behavior and sleep attacks, is I start to think of like a storyline, but a very kind of mundane, basic, boring, everyday thing. So now if I'm having trouble, you know, one of those one-off situations or anything like that, or if you've got insomnia, what I do is I lay down and I think about going on a walk. Not that I'm going to actively take this walk. I play it in my head like a movie. I close my eyes and I think about not the current home that I'm living in, but I used to live in an apartment, and they had this great trail around the apartment complex where you could just walk around it and then it would take you right back to where you started from, your apartment. And so I literally think about exiting the door of my apartment and then going down the stairs and then, you know, going over the grass and into this path and then literally going on a walk, and what I would see on the way. I incorporate all of that, you know, what bushes I remember being there. There's a fence post on the side, the certain buildings, and I just do it step by step like that. And within, 5 minutes, usually almost quicker than that, I'm asleep. I've never made the full walk. So I'm always asleep by then. But that's also what causes me to go into automatic behavior or sleep attacks, I've noticed, is if I start to do this storyline or dialogue in my head, and that's when that kind of kicks in. So just something that I noticed, and I tried it and it worked. So I hope it works for you too if you're needing that. Something else is paralysis, and paralysis is really difficult. Any dreams that we have in paralysis or the nightmares, they end up becoming real memories. I can still remember dreams from when I was a kid. They were so horrific and vivid, and I'm talking like what always bothered me and always kind of made me worry or wonder about my sanity is it wasn't anything that I saw in a movie or anything that I had read. It was just horrific. And now, as even an adult, it's hard for me to talk about some of the things that I saw because it's not just blood and gore. It's just really messed up stuff. When I had my son, I remember having this dream where I was holding him, and then his eyes just were out of his sockets, or they rolled back into his head. But either way, just really vivid, terrifying thing when you're just a new parent, and it was just bizarre and creepy, and that's hard, when you've got all those memories that felt really real, you experience them as being real, and then trying to work through those. So a lot of us kind of explain it as almost having this double life, because there's just, those aren't things that just went away when we woke up. Those are still things that we're taking with us no matter what age we are. So whenever you're stuck in paralysis, it can be a really frightening thing. However, it can also be kind of a wonderful thing too, because at that point, if you can realize that you are dreaming and you'd like to continue dreaming, this is something that could help you too as far as lucid dreaming goes and things like that. So I think I did get this somewhere online, and I wanted to try it the next time that I did go into paralysis. So it says if you are stuck in paralysis, or you think you're dreaming, or you just want to know if you're dreaming or awake. Sometimes if you have narcolepsy, you might want to know that too. If you're having some weird experiences and you want to know, okay, is this a dream or is this real life, is to look at your hands, the palms of your hands or your feet. Just, look down. And if you're dreaming, at that point, you'll know whether you're dreaming or awake, usually because you can't see your hands or your feet when you try to look at them. And at that point, you will either wake up, or if you'd like to continue the dream, you can. If you've had some really terrible thing happen where, you know, you saw a loved one die, at that point you can kind of reverse it in a way and say, you know, they didn't get eaten by that monster. He killed that monster. Just something like that. You can rewrite it, or it can end up being just, you know, a really awesome dream where, you know, you're in another country or you're exploring. I have really vivid memories of the places that I visited, and I don't know where they are. I don't know how I made them up, but they're just really beautiful, and I'm glad that I have those memories because I haven't done a whole lot of traveling, but I've seen some beautiful things in my dreams. And then that's pretty much it. When these things kind of come to me, I'll, you know, try to get them out there because I know that they can be helpful to other people. But, you know, we were discussing, you know, there's some benefits. A lot of wonderful visualizations and art projects have come out of some of the things that I've seen in dreams. A lot of my ideas and just things that I want to do have come out of that as well. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be all bad, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, that there are some positives with the negatives. And then if you do have any other things of your own that you've noticed have really worked, and, you know, not the normal go drink some coffee, go exercise, eat better food, or whatever that is, I really don't want to hear that because I've heard it a dozen times. And but if you have narcolepsy and something's working for you, I'd love to hear about it.